In a world where noise never stops, where social media screams for your attention, where expectations weigh heavy on your shoulders, and where even silence feels loud, how do you stay calm? How do you protect your peace in a world that profits from your anxiety? The Stoics had an answer. Thousands of years ago, they taught that true power doesn't come from wealth, fame, or control over others. It comes from mastering yourself, from responding instead of reacting, from choosing clarity over chaos. Today, we begin a journey not just of learning, but of transforming. So take a deep breath, because from this moment on, you're going to act like nothing disturbs you anymore. Part 1. Turn pain into power, view obstacles as opportunities. Imagine life as a path winding through mountains, storms, and unexpected detours. Sometimes we walk through sunshine. Other times we're knee-deep in the mud. And yet, it's in the mud that roots grow deepest. It's in hardship that strength is born. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." It's not just a quote, it's a mindset. When you stop seeing obstacles as punishments and start viewing them as invitations, your entire world changes. Think about Jesus. He didn't avoid betrayal, pain, or death. He walked through them, and in doing so, transformed suffering into a message of hope, forgiveness, and eternal love. Just like him, we're given daily opportunities to grow through heartbreak, rejection, setbacks. Each one can either break us or build us, and the difference lies in how we see them. Ask yourself, the last time you were challenged, did you crumble or did you rise? The Stoics remind us it's never the event that defines us, but our response. A lost job, a broken heart, a failed dream. Each one is a doorway, not a dead end. Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of the Holocaust, said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." That's the essence of resilience. That's Stoicism in action. So the next time you feel blocked, stuck, or defeated, pause. Ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? Because what stands in your way might be the very thing that leads you to strength you never knew you had. If you're ready to embrace this mindset, write in the comments. Obstacles are not walls, they're stepping stones. And now, let's move forward to the next truth that will reshape your inner world. If you're finding value in this journey, consider subscribing to the Chill Stoic, where ancient wisdom meets modern calm. Part 2. Don't suffer imaginary pains. Stop worrying about what hasn't happened yet. Have you ever lost sleep over something that never actually happened? A meeting that didn't go badly? A conversation that turned out fine? A fear that never came true? Our minds have a way of creating storms that never touch the ground. And yet, we suffer from them as if they're real. The Stoics knew this well. They warned us not just about external dangers, but the dangers of our own imagination. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many hours of your life have been wasted worrying about tomorrow's what-ifs? What if they reject me? What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? Jesus, too, spoke directly to this tendency. He said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." He wasn't being poetic, he was being practical. Worrying about the future robs you of your power in the present. Picture a farmer pacing his fields, fearing drought, disease, and ruin, while the sun shines. The soil is healthy and the crops grow. His fear doesn't stop the drought. It just steals today's peace. And in the end, his worry changes nothing but his well-being. You've done this too. We all have. Built castles of fear in our minds, only to find later there was nothing there. No monster, no failure, no catastrophe, just shadows. So how do we stop this? The answer lies in awareness. The next time you feel anxious, ask yourself, is this happening or am I just imagining it? This simple question creates space. Space for truth to enter. Because the mind loves to wander, but it also listens when you speak with intention. And when you invite logic in, fear often walks out. It helps to journal, to speak to yourself with honesty, to write down your fear and examine it, strip it of its power. You'll often realize the thing you're afraid of isn't real. Not yet, maybe never. Modern psychologists confirm this. Studies show that nearly 85% of the things we worry about never actually happen. And of the 15% that do, most people handle them better than they expect. Your brain is wired to detect threats, but not to distinguish between real ones and imagined ones. So train it. Gently, daily, with presence, with reason, with faith. And remember this, peace doesn't come from perfect circumstances. It comes from clarity. And clarity comes when you stop letting your imagination become your enemy. If this speaks to you, write in the comments. I choose presence over fear. Because the truth is, when you live in this moment, not the imagined future, you find power. And now, let's move into part 3, where we'll explore the beauty and strength of embracing impermanence. Part 3, Embrace Impermanence. Learn to flow with life. Everything you know will change. Your body, your career, the people you love, even your beliefs. And yet, we often cling to life as if it should stay still, as if permanence is the goal and change is the enemy. But what if letting go was the path to peace? What if the secret to strength wasn't holding tighter, but releasing beautifully? The Stoics believed that impermanence was not a threat, but a teacher. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." In that single sentence, he reminded us, life is always moving. What feels like truth today may become a lesson tomorrow. What feels like pain today may become wisdom next year. And what you try to control may be the very thing you're called to release. Think about a river. It doesn't resist the rocks, it flows around them. It doesn't fear the change of course, it embraces it. The river's power comes not from force, but from surrender. Jesus taught the same in a deeper way. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. This means our foundation should not be material or temporary. It should be rooted in the eternal. And faith, by its nature, requires letting go. You've lived through change before. Losses that broke you, successes that faded, people you thought would stay forever, and moments you wish had lasted longer. And yet, you're still here, still growing, still becoming. So ask yourself, have I been resisting the river of life or learning to flow with it? The more we resist change, the more we suffer. But when we accept it, we find freedom. And permanence is what makes things precious. A sunset, a child's laughter, a goodbye hug, none of these last forever. And that's why we treasure them. Because when you know something won't last, you give it your full attention. Modern psychology calls this mindful awareness, being fully present because you know the moment is fleeting. Stoicism calls it amore fati, a love of fate, loving not just the good, but everything life brings. So what would happen if you embraced impermanence today? You might fear less, cling less. You might love more, live more. You might find peace in the very flow you once feared. Write this in the comments if your heart agrees. I choose to flow with life, not fight against it. And now we'll journey into the next piece of Stoic peace, the powerful liberation that comes when you let go of what you cannot control. Part 4. Master the art of letting go. Free yourself from the weight you carry. Some burdens are visible, like a heavy bag on your back. Others are invisible, but far more exhausting. A broken relationship, a missed opportunity, a regret that clings to your heart. We carry them, not because we have to, but because we don't know how to let go. Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's the choice to stop bleeding for a wound that's already closed. The Stoics understood this deeply. They taught, don't attach your peace to things you can't control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This is where your freedom lives, in choosing what you carry and what you lay down. Not everything is yours to fix. Not everything is yours to hold. Jesus echoed this truth. Cast your burdens upon the Lord, and He will sustain you. That is not just spiritual comfort, it's psychological release. It's the realization that we are not built to carry everything alone. Think about something you've been holding on to. Maybe a word someone said years ago that still echoes in your thoughts. Maybe a what could have been that plays on repeat. Or maybe it's guilt for something you can't undo. Now ask yourself, is it serving you or sinking you? Is it helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Clinging to pain doesn't honor your past. Healing from it does. Psychologists call this emotional residue. It's what lingers when we replay events we can't change. And studies show that ruminating on past pain increases anxiety, depression, and even physical stress. Your body suffers for what your heart won't release. But when you let go, not in apathy, but in acceptance, healing begins. You create space. Space for peace. Space for new love, new lessons, and new possibilities. So how do we practice letting go? Start by asking, is this within my control? If it isn't, bless it, learn from it, and release it. Because peace never grows in a clenched fist. A tree doesn't resist when its leaves fall. It surrenders to the season. And in doing so, prepares for spring. That's you too, when you choose to let go. Remember, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making room for something better. It means telling yourself, this no longer defines me. You're not your mistake. You're not your trauma. You're not your past. If this touched something inside you, write it out loud. I release what I cannot control, and feel how your soul breathes lighter. Coming up next, we'll explore the simple yet powerful practice that makes all of this possible, daily reflection. Part 5. Practice daily reflection. Know yourself to grow yourself. In the noise of life, we often forget to pause. We move from one task to the next, one scroll to another, rarely asking, what am I really becoming? But growth without reflection is like walking in circles. You move, but you never arrive. The Stoics made reflection a daily ritual. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, didn't just rule nations, he ruled himself. Each night he wrote in his journal, questioning his motives, correcting his thoughts, and sharpening his soul. Not to appear perfect, but to become more human. He asked, where did I act against my values today? Where did I respond with emotion instead of wisdom? And most importantly, how can I do better tomorrow? That's not judgment, it's progress. Jesus echoed the same spirit. Seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened. He was calling us into awareness, not just of the world, but of ourselves. Because true change begins with honesty. Imagine ending your day not with distraction, but with discovery. 5 minutes. A journal. A question. What did I learn today about who I am? That simple habit rewires the brain. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Reflection activates areas responsible for emotional regulation and long-term growth. It's like spiritual weightlifting. Each session builds inner strength. And you'll begin to notice patterns. Why you get angry, why you shut down, why you chase approval. You'll learn that many of your reactions aren't you, they're unhealed versions of you. And once you see them clearly, you can start to respond differently. You'll also celebrate progress, not just the big wins, but the quiet victories. You listened instead of interrupting. You chose silence over drama. You said no when your soul needed rest. These are the signs that you're evolving. Daily reflection creates alignment between who you are and who you want to be. It's how you stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. It's how you become trustworthy to yourself. So tonight, before the world pulls you into sleep, pull yourself into presence. Ask, what made my soul feel alive today? What drained me? What do I want more of tomorrow? Write it down. Sit with it. Let it speak back to you. Because you are not just here to exist, you are here to evolve. And evolution begins with awareness. If you're ready to start this quiet revolution, write in the comments. Tonight, I choose reflection. Next up, the deepest kind of peace. The one that lives inside you even when everything outside falls apart. Part 6. Cultivate inner peace. Stay calm when the world is not. What does peace mean to you? Is it silence? A break from stress? A perfect moment untouched by chaos? If that's how you define peace, it will always be fragile. Because life is rarely still. But the Stoics had a different vision. Peace, they taught, isn't found in perfect conditions. It's forged in the fire of reality. It's not the absence of noise. It's the presence of stillness within you, no matter the noise around you. True peace is portable. You carry it in your mind, your breath, your choices. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire in crisis, yet wrote words as calm as morning light. Why? Because he didn't try to fix the world before fixing his perspective. He said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Jesus too pointed us inward. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He wasn't offering a change in circumstances. He was offering a change in posture, from striving to surrender. So how do we cultivate this kind of peace? Start with awareness. Notice what pulls you out of alignment, what triggers, expectations, or comparisons disturb your stillness. Name them, face them, but don't let them rule you. Practice silence not just around you, but within. Turn down the volume of urgency. Breathe deeply. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Choose what enters your mind the way you choose who enters your home. Make room for sacred routines. A few minutes of quiet in the morning, a walk without your phone, a prayer whispered in traffic. Peace is not found. It's built daily, gently. Modern psychology supports this too. Studies show that mindfulness and breath-based meditation reduce cortisol levels, regulate emotions, and even improve heart health. Peace isn't a luxury, it's a skill. And it changes everything. Picture yourself like a still lake. The storms above may come, but they don't disturb the depth below. You can be that lake. You can be that calm. But only if you stop chasing peace and start creating it. And when you do, something beautiful happens. You stop reacting, you start responding. You stop fearing change, you start trusting your resilience. And suddenly, the chaos outside no longer controls the climate inside. If this resonates with you, write in the comments, "I carry peace within me," because peace is not a destination. It's a way of walking through the world with clarity, with breath, with grace. And coming up next, we'll go deeper into what builds that peace, the strength to rise again and again when life tries to break you. Part 7, Develop Resilience, Strength Through Adversity. What if pain wasn't here to break you, but to shape you? What if adversity wasn't a punishment, but a preparation? Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something life forges in you through fire, through friction, through falling and getting back up. The Stoics didn't avoid hardship. They expected it. They knew that strength isn't built in comfort, but in challenge. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Think about your own life. The moments that truly changed you, the ones that taught you who you are, were they easy? Or did they come wrapped in failure, grief, and uncertainty? Pain is a harsh teacher, but a wise one. And still, you're here. Still breathing, still growing. You've already survived so much more than you give yourself credit for. That is resilience. Not perfection, but persistence. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." He didn't just survive unthinkable horror, he found meaning in it. He turned suffering into purpose. Jesus, too, showed us what resilience looks like. He was mocked, betrayed, beaten, and still he loved. Still, he forgave. "In this world you will have trouble," he said, "but take heart, I have overcome the world." Resilience is not just surviving, it's becoming stronger through what tried to destroy you. It's saying, "This hurts, but I'm still here." It's trusting that what was meant to bury you will grow you instead. Like a seed beneath the soil. Science confirms this too. Research on post-traumatic growth shows that many people emerge from adversity with deeper meaning, stronger values, and greater compassion. Struggle, when faced with awareness, becomes transformation, and transformation becomes testimony. So, how do you build resilience? Start by reframing your struggles. Don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this teaching me?" Then act. Take small steps, even when you feel broken. Celebrate little wins. Rest, but don't retreat. Because every forward step, no matter how small, is a victory. And never walk alone. Resilience grows in connection, in truth shared, in pain witnessed, in hope spoken out loud. Your story matters. Your scars speak. Let them tell the world, "I didn't quit, I became." If this message lives in your heart today, write in the comments, "I rise through adversity." And as we rise, we learn the next lesson of power, not letting the small things take away the peace we've worked so hard to build. Part 8. Don't create your own storms. Protect your peace from within. Not every storm you face comes from the world. Some storms begin inside you. They start with a thought, a fear, a story you tell yourself, and before long the sky darkens even when the sun is still shining. We all do this. Someone says something careless and we replay it 100 times. A delay happens and we spiral into frustration. One small moment becomes a mountain because our minds gave it power. The Stoics warned us about this. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about things." It's not the traffic, the comment, the delay. It's what we tell ourselves it means. And when we don't pause, we let minor events hijack our inner peace. Jesus offered a similar warning wrapped in compassion. He said, "Do not worry about your life. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" He was inviting us to stop obsessing over the trivial, to stop letting little things pull us away from what matters most. So how do you stop creating your own storms? Start with awareness. Notice the triggers, the small annoyances that expand in your mind. Then interrupt the spiral. Take a breath. Ask, is this worth my peace? In most cases, the answer will be no. That text left on read, not worth it. That line at the grocery store, not worth it. That look someone gave you, not worth it. Your peace is too valuable to trade for things you won't even remember in a week. Let that sink in. Because most emotional storms we face are optional, created not by life, but by overthinking, assumption, and ego. Modern psychology backs this up. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, teaches that our emotional distress often stems not from events, but from distorted thoughts about those events. When we catch the distortion, we reclaim control. When we question our stories, we quiet the storm. Try this. Next time you feel irritation rising, say out loud, "This is not worth my peace." Make it a mantra, make it a boundary. Choose calm, even when chaos invites you in. And remember, emotional maturity isn't about never feeling upset. It's about recognizing when you're feeding a fire that doesn't need to burn. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is let it go before it grows. If this truth resonates with your spirit, write in the comments. I protect my peace from within. Next, we'll explore how to focus not just on what we want, but on how we choose to move through the world with intention and integrity. Part 9. Focus on the how. Process over outcome. Have you ever achieved something and still felt empty? That promotion, that goal weight, that relationship. You got what you wanted, but the joy didn't last. Because deep down, you were focused only on the what and not the how. We live in a world obsessed with results. Success is often measured by what we gain, not how we grow. But Stoicism flips that mindset upside down. It teaches us that how you live matters more than what you achieve. Epictetus said it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And that's the secret. Peace is found in the process, not the prize. Because outcomes are uncertain, but your choices, your character, your actions, those are yours, always. Jesus taught this too. He said, "Do not worry about tomorrow. Each day has enough trouble of its own." He didn't just mean stop overthinking. He meant, show up today. Walk with integrity. Let tomorrow unfold on its own. Think of an archer. She trains daily, sharpens her focus, steadies her breath. But once she releases the arrow, the wind may shift, the target may move. Her power lies not in hitting the bullseye, but in how she aimed. That's you. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your intention, your preparation, your discipline. And in doing so, you win, whether or not the world gives you a trophy. Psychologists call this a process-oriented mindset. It reduces anxiety, increases performance, builds long-term resilience. Because when you stop chasing results, you start living from a place of purpose. And when you live with purpose, peace follows naturally. Ask yourself today, what if I focused more on the how? Not when will I get there, but how can I show up fully right here, right now? Maybe the goal is to write a book, but today it's just one page. Maybe the dream is healing, but today it's just breathing deeply and being kind to yourself. When you honor the how, the what begins to lose its power over you. You become unshakable. Because you're not defined by outcomes, you're defined by effort. You no longer feel like a failure when things fall apart, because you know you did your part. So today, shift your focus. Stop measuring progress only by destination. Measure it by alignment. Are you walking in truth, in kindness, in discipline? If this message resonates with you, write in the comments. I focus on how I live, not just what I get. Because your process is your peace. Your how is your legacy. Now, in our final chapter, we'll explore something every Stoic must master. Letting reason guide you so emotions don't rule you. Join me for Part 10, Prioritize Rationality over Emotion. You won't want to miss it. Part 10. Prioritize rationality over emotion. Let reason lead the way. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of emotion and regretted it moments later? Alarm word, a rushed choice, a reaction that felt good for a second but left damage behind. We've all been there. Because emotions are fast, loud, and convincing, but they're not always wise. The Stoics knew this danger. They taught that emotions, when left unchecked, can become tyrants. But reason? Reason is your anchor. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. To be Stoic is not to be emotionless. It's to feel deeply, but act wisely. It's to recognize your emotions without being ruled by them. It's to pause, reflect, and then choose your response. Jesus demonstrated this perfectly. When facing betrayal, injustice, and even death, he didn't lash out in rage. He paused, he prayed, he forgave. His strength wasn't in suppressing emotion, it was in allowing love and wisdom to lead. Modern psychology agrees. Studies show that when we slow down our reactions, we engage the rational part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. This leads to better decisions, less regret, and stronger relationships. Emotional intelligence isn't about ignoring your feelings, it's about not letting them drive the car. Think of it like this. Your emotions are weather. Your reason is the sky. The storms may pass, but the sky remains steady. Obey the sky. So how do we let reason lead? We pause before reacting. We breathe before speaking. We ask, is this true? Is this helpful? Is this worth it? One moment of pause can prevent a lifetime of pain. One choice to respond rather than react can change the course of your day, your relationships, even your destiny. That's the power of reason. That's the wisdom of self-mastery. Imagine someone insults you. Your instinct is to fire back. But you pause and ask, is their opinion my truth, or is their pain spilling onto me? In that moment, you choose peace over ego, wisdom over impulse. This is not weakness. This is power. Because anyone can explode, but only the truly strong can stay composed. That's what Stoicism teaches us. That's what Jesus modeled. That's what growth demands. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by anger, fear, sadness, remember, you are not your emotion. You are the observer, the thinker, the chooser. And that means you have the power. If this truth speaks to your soul, write in the comments. I let reason lead me. Because when reason guides your path, nothing can pull you off course. You've walked with me through this 10-part journey. You've learned to view obstacles as opportunities, to stop fearing what isn't real, to let go, reflect, build peace, and rise from hardship. And now you've learned the final key. Let reason, not impulse, be your compass. This is the way of the Stoic. This is the way of the soul anchored in truth. This is how you act like nothing disturbs you anymore. So don't just listen, live it. And if this series has touched your heart, share it with someone who needs peace. Because the world doesn't just need more noise, it needs more stillness. And that stillness begins with you. Thank you for walking this journey. Now go, live it deeply, and let nothing disturb you again.